Alright, so finally on a different job, different kind of job. I'm gonna try to be like Chris on this job and dredge out around this pond. It's probably about 2 feet low right now, and we just had some pretty good rain, so it's come up probably, well, it might have come up 2 feet, but you can kind of see the, well, the problem is cows, this grass has done got up so much around in here. It don't look bad right now, well, not on this end, but his cows are only wanting to go to one spot on the pond down through there, and they're gonna make the dam eventually fail. So what he's wanting to do is take out the areas that's got the duck grass or whatever you call it, which this whole end's pretty low, pretty shallow, but trying to walk, you can see some over there. It's only bad in some spots, but it really looks like the whole pond needs to be dredged a little bit. But I'm gonna get with him and make sure exactly what he wants to do. We just haven't had a chance to get over here and look at it together, but I don't know if you can see the levee over there, how they've got it walked down, but I know that's a problem area over in there. I don't think this side is too much, because he's got the half of the pond basically is well, the other side of the fence there, he's got another paddock over there. The cows are on that side and the horses are over here, but he moves them around quite a bit, so I think when they're over here it's not that much of a deal, but over there it's mostly just the levee, and the only other spot they can really get to water, it's got so much of that duckweed or whatever it is grown up so much that they want to walk where the overflow pipe is, and they're causing some issues over there. But I'm gonna have to call him real quick and see about this side, because this side really ain't that bad. Maybe in that corner right there, but anyway, it's gonna be something different. I may have a lot of fun with it, or I may be cussing by the end of it. Good thing is the ground seems pretty solid all the way up to the water, so I don't think it's going to be that bad. Like I said in the last video, the low boy about building some mats, I don't think I would need them on a job like this, but to really fix this in here, because even when the water, even where it full capacity, it's probably still only about 2 feet deep right there. So really all that about from right here back needs to be took down about another 2 feet to give it some depth. But the grass really isn't that bad up through here. It's really not as bad as it used to be, because I used to remember it used to go way off out in there. But anyway, so let me figure out where to start digging, and I'm gonna start laying this mud back and see how she goes. All right, so I tracked over here to the other side where I know this duckweed is a problem. I'm not so sure about the other side over there, because that looks okay to me, but if he wants it a little deeper, ain't no problem. But this side is, I know this side is the worst side, or worse than that over there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach out as far as I can and just take it down probably about 2 feet and just lay it behind me, and then I'll just kind of spread it out. That's the plan anyway. Let's see. And I know this old stuff, it's gonna be just nasty. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay it right here where I know the water line is. it's over, this machine will be filthy. I'm gonna try my best not to splash myself. Now just creep forward. Creep forward about 2 bucket width and just reach on out and just keep doing the same thing. And this is my first ever job like this, really. Follow me, you probably follow Let's Dig. I've seen him do it 1,000 times, and I'm just going off what I see him do. I think that's the best way to learn. You know, you watch somebody who knows what they're doing. I'm thankful that he puts videos out like he does to, you know, educate us. See, that stuff has got, it's got a little bit of topsoil in there, the black stuff, but then it's just straight, pretty much straight clay. It's not really the best for really growing anything, but the good thing is it's got this topsoil kind of mixed in there with it, and I know it won't take much, and it'll have some stuff growing in it. We'll reach back and get this little bit right here where I was sitting. I did some work on my own place a couple years ago, back when I had the smaller excavator. I cut out a little small cattle pond that was on my place. It was just overgrown, and muskrats had done ruined it, and it was amazing how fast grass grew back in that dirt, and even what it is now, how tall it is. I swear it was like I could dig out, and within 2 or 3 days it already had stuff sprouting in it. I'm sure this right here, it's gonna put back on pretty quick. What I'll do is when I get done, I'll come back around again, and I'll probably just smooth it out. I'll pull it back up towards the hill a little bit more, just kind of right here where I'm sitting. Careful, you'll kind of lose your spot. I'm just going to keep working my way on down this side and laying this stuff back. Once I get to the other side, there's a bunch of geese out there. Y'all can see them. Several of them out there. See them out, channel? You may not can see them. So I'm just going to keep working down this edge right here, laying this stuff back, and then when I get to the other side, I'll give you an update in just a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna stop there for today. You see where I started out over there, and I made it all the way around. Took out quite a bit of dirt up in the head section. Kind of made it a little bigger up there. Made it all the way around to here where the fence is. This old stuff, it's gonna be hell to smooth out. I said I'm just gonna have to lay it back and let it dry out, and that way it'll kind of break up whenever I rake over it. It's just old sticky clay, just wants to clump together. I do gotta go back on the other side and go finish that little spot to the fence, and then when I get to the other side, cows are up there. You can kind of see what they're doing. They don't they can't get to the water up in there, so they're staying by that pipe and over in this area. So what I'm trying to do is just pull it back so they can get to the water easier. It's just got so much of a slope to it. Then I'm gonna pull that, I'm gonna take a lot of that dirt that I dig out and put back around the pipe and fix that area of the bank, and then slope the levee back where they've eroded it down, and hopefully they'll stay off the levee and stay in here now that I'll get all that grass and stuff out of their way. But this pond right now it's already pretty shallow, because cows come down here earlier and got in it, and they was halfway out in there and it was only up to their belly. So what I'm doing is I'm actually raising the bank instead of just making it a gradual slope. I want when the water does come up, it'll come more straight up and not just out more. If that makes sense. So anyway, it's a nice pond. It's gonna be real nice once I get everything slicked out and the grass grows back around it, and get rid of all that duckweed. So, all right, I'll be back in the morning and work on that side. All right, this is the next day. I'm back over here on the pond job. I'm gonna go work on the levee side. Some cow don't like me being on her side of the pasture. I'll set a time lapse up in a minute. I had to want to see how close I can get. Pretty much sitting where the water will come up to. I'm gonna lay this straight back behind me, and that way, because I'm going to have to come straight in and straight out on this hill. I can't run down the side of the bank like I was doing. It's going to be just a little more aggravating. Those cows are like, yo bro, what are you doing over here? They're just as curious as a cat. Might hit her in the head in a minute either. Okay. She is right up on me now. She was. You're gonna get hit in the head with that counterweight when I swing around. I dug up looked like a little nest of snakes yesterday. There was about 5 of them in a little wad. They wasn't happy about it. I just seen a little one right then. I figured I'd get into some of them around here. There's probably gonna be a lot more of them in this tall grass. I don't mind the water snakes, but if I see a cottonmouth, he probably ain't gonna make it. Especially I know his son likes to come down here and go fishing. So. Alright, y'all get the idea. I'm just gonna lay this back, and then what I'll do is once I get out of this corner, I'll come back and spread that around. I'm gonna set y'all up on a time lapse out here if I don't get trampled by these cows right here. So. They still ain't figured out what my machine is. Goofy cows. So I got the GoPro set up over there, time lapsing, and the cows are trying to sniff the camera, so y'all may get knocked off in the water in a minute. much of that got filmed because the cows come over here and was checking y'all out. So I have been pissing some little old snakes and fish off. There are snakes everywhere in here. But I've just been laying that back. I'm gonna slick it up like this. I'm gonna go ahead and get this slicked off. Kind of dug out down in the clay to put back on this bank, because what happens is these cows get down in here and they just keep walking in here, and it's pushing all the good dirt, and it's pushing up by this pipe. So I'm gonna try to kick this out and then get it over that way, and then just keep working my way on down. I'll have to sit on top of this hill, and once I get in there, it's not shallow. It's just kind of right in here. That weeds and stuff has just grew that much out into the water. Like over in here in this corner, it was pretty deep. I really wasn't digging much out, really, just the weeds and stuff. But I'm gonna go down this levee and slick it up too, because you can see where they've just walked down it and making a mess out of it. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea just to run a hot wire around this culvert and keep them off the levee, because they gonna mess it up, that's for sure. If I didn't have this reach on this machine, this job would be a no-go. She can reach on out there a good way. that fish jump? It's about the third one I've seen jump like that. This front pond dam wasn't really built where you could really maintain it. It's too steep. It's not really wide enough either. It needed about another 3 feet on it, which it might have been okay, but the horses and the cows have just about ruined it. So if you're gonna have a pond with livestock, keep them off the levees. Hooves are made to till the ground up, especially the horses. I'm pretty sure I already said it, but man, this is where I really want a smooth tilt bucket. That thing would be awesome for this. But we're gonna make do with what we got. Story of my life. Alright, so I think the best thing is just for me to just pull it back up on here like this, kind of let it sit right there, and then when I come back down and I can scoot over, and then I can smooth it out a little better. Like I said, this is, once I get out 2 feet from the bank, it drops off pretty good. There's really no, I'm not really digging up a lot of dirt. So it's more or less just pulling these weeds back and just dressing up the slope again. So let me get this sloped in, pull back, and then I'll give you an update. Alright, so I don't know what's going on with my GoPro. The stupid thing won't come on. But I made it all the way around to this corner. This corner was pretty bad. It was really shallow, and I more or less had to track out in there and pull it back twice. And now I'm just starting to kind of slick it up on my way back out. It's starting to rain a little bit, a sprinkle. But I'm going to just keep working my way on down and slick the mud that I pulled back up on this edge, you know, kind of like I done right here. But, you kind of get the idea. This stuff is a lot easier to slick out than what that is over there on the other side. It seemed like a lot more topsoil had washed up in this corner, so it was easier to move around. So I'm just going to keep working on down this edge here, and then I'll give you an update, and maybe the GoPro will start acting right. I don't know. Alright, so I'm steadily going down the bank here. It's actually smoothing out pretty good. You see down through there. Looks 100 times better than it was. Oh, I hope the old big boy don't get hung up like he's probably about to. I may be getting him out in a minute. that's the whole reason for doing this, is try to get them a better spot, I guess. I think we're going to make a little landing over there for them to get to, put some rock in there, but I don't know yet. I wish they'd get out of the way. And the GoPro's quit on me, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Alright, I'm done with this side. Finally got her slicked on down. All around. And that little stuff that's out there, that's kind of what broke loose and just kind of floated away from me. I think it looks pretty good considering what it did look like. And this in here, like I said, it's just pure clay, so it's really kind of hard to grade out. But it seems like after it kind of sits there for a while, it's easier to smear around and it don't just stay in a big clump. So that grass sprouts up through that, she'll look nice. And I hope the cows, they ain't gonna stay out of it, but once that hardens up, they'll have a lot more solid ground to walk on. And there's my little buddy there. He's been following me around fishing. Alright, well, I'm gonna get on the other side over here and start slicking that down and see what she looks like. The GoPro is still dead in the water. Alright, so yesterday I finished up this side. I got it slicked down. I worked till a little after dark last night, but I think it's turned out pretty good. It came a little shower last night as soon as I left, and I'm kind of glad it did, because, well, I mean, it was doing okay smearing this out, but it was almost a little bit too dry, I think. But I'm gonna clean this little ditch out right here, and then I'm gonna start on this side. My GoPro is done for. I'm gonna have to get another one, so I'm just gonna have to kind of give updates like this. But all I got left is I gotta slick this out, and then probably about 150 feet or so of the bank over there has got to be done, and then this one will be a wrap. So let me get this slicked out. This end right here was pretty low. The water came way on up in here, but it was only a couple inches deep. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just raising the bank. That way the pond won't get any bigger, I guess. It'll just get deeper from kind of where it's at now. I don't want it to spread out anymore. I just want it to come straight up, more or less. And I think that'll solve a lot of the issues and make it look nicer too. All right, let's get to work. Okay, I'm finally finished. It took a little bit longer than I was expecting, but I think it slicked up pretty nice. The old 313, she can be as nimble as a kitten when you want it to be. What I found was, like, it would slick out better after I dug it and it sat for a couple hours. It would kind of just be like peanut butter then. But as soon as I dug it and I set it out, it wouldn't. It's like it just stayed one big clump. But if I sure enough had a wider, smooth bucket, you know, it'd been even better. But after it rains on it a couple times and it settles down, it's gonna be real nice. And I raised the banks, basically what I did, about 1.5 feet, 2 foot, so that way the pond will be deeper, and hopefully it'll keep the weeds and pond grass down. So okay, And the machine didn't get just too bad. I really didn't splash myself, just kind of looked like I did, but she ain't too dirty considering. I'll get her hosed off and cleaned up. Y'all can make fun of me for this. I don't know where I did that at. Bumped into a clod of dirt or a big clod rolled up on the tracks there, but I don't think Lex Dig would approve of that, but Dirt Perfect, he'd be alright with it. So anyway, there she is.